started here. Module 5 today is about Control Center, iPad, keyboard, and security tips. So I'll just go straight into it. Let me just minimize this here. And I'm going to stop my video. Okay. So the agenda for today, I'll go through about us and our disclaimers in the beginning. I think that's a normal process. Go over some basic housekeeping processes as well. Then we'll get into the iPad a little bit about the control panel, the iPad keyboard, your copy, paste, and dictate text, and then security tips at the end of the presentation. And then after that, we'll do a Q&A. So let me just read off this disclaimer. I'm sure you guys have heard it before. The Wilderness Technology Alliance DC Senior iPad Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any of the applications or topics made by the Wilderness Technology Alliance, including but not limited to mobile and device applications, any social media pages maintained by the Wilderness Technology Alliance DC Senior iPad Program, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. So the iPad program guidelines. To participate in this program, you must remain in sole possession of your iPad, participate in a one-on-one training virtually or in person at our local libraries, which we'll start having again soon. Participate in at least 6 free tech trainings over Zoom held throughout the year. Respond to the midterm survey that will be emailed to you. This program provides one iPad on loan until you complete the program requirements, cellular data by DACL, which is inside of each of your iPads so you can access the internet, individual telephone training, online group training, face-to-face library training, and tech support. Additionally, you must utilize the iPad at least 3 days per week and read the occasional emails and text messages we send to you and respond when needed. So here are some contact informations if you ever need to get some information from us. If it's in regards to attendance and how many classes you've completed, your best bet would be to email attendance@wowtech.org. If you're trying to get a status on when you'll get your survey or if it's been received by us, I would email survey@wowtech.org. And if you have general questions about troubleshooting or help with your iPad, I would email helpdesk@wowtech.org, or you can call the help desk at 202-800-6868. And the help desk hours have changed. They're not all day. They're from 11 to 2 p.m. If you call outside of this time, definitely leave us a voicemail. We have a system set up to be able to respond to your voicemails in a timely manner. So still feel free to call, even if it's out of the hours of 11 and 2 p.m. Okay, so this is for your attendance for the class. So please make sure you show your screen name if you wish to receive credit for this class. And I want to point out, we actually had a senior call the help desk today, and she was trying to figure out how many classes she had taken. We had an attendance for her for like 1 class, and she had already attended like 6 of them. But the issue is that we did not have her name listed when she was attending these classes, so we weren't actually marking her credit correctly because we just weren't aware of it. So please make sure that you have your screen name on. If you have any questions about that, I would put them in the chat so that Alexander can help you get your names up so that we can make sure you get credit for this class.
Oh, yeah. Usually I would look over who's there. We have pretty much everybody with their name showing today. So
awesome.
Good job to you all.
Great job, everybody. Do you think I need to go through this today, Alex, if everybody's all set?
The only thing that I would say, the reason why there are 3 reasons why you should should have your name shown in Zoom. 1, to get the credit for attending, of course. 2, so that way we can acknowledge you, not as iPad or Zoom user or something. And 3, for the safety of our other participants. We want to make sure that everyone's on the call is in our program. So, but yes, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexander. And I think most people know how to do this as well, but I'll just read it again here. Whenever you do have a question, it's best to raise your hand. And then once we are able to call on you, we'll ask you to unmute your screen, and then you can ask the question. So I'll just read this over. To keep meetings organized and avoid talking over each other, the host will likely ask you to use the raise hand button. You can find the raise hand button in the toolbar. At the end of each session, you will have an opportunity to ask questions using this feature. Tap more at the top right and then tap raise hand. So there's an image over here of it. You can see more right here, and then you're able to raise your hand. And then chat, same as well. If you want to communicate with others non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, ask a question, or congratulate or encourage others. Tap more at the top right, same spot over here. Tap chat and then tap to hear chat. Tap here to chat, I'm sorry. And then you type your message in using the keyboard and then tap the blue button on the right side to send the message. So you'll see a screen like this. You can type it out here and then you can send it off. Okay, so now we're getting into the actual iPad stuff here. So first we're going to go over the control center. This is section here is how to access, use, customize, and control your iPad. And I believe we have some videos inside here that will help make this a little bit more sense. So the control center on your iPad gives you instant access to useful controls and apps, which include airplane mode, Wi-Fi, cellular data, Bluetooth, screen orientation lock, volume and brightness, and more. So we'll be reviewing how to open the control center and what each button does and how to customize it if you choose to do so for your personal device. So to access the control center, you open the control center, swipe down from the top corner of your screen. So you'll be swiping from here, which is where this dot is at, and then you swipe down, and then that should pop up for your control center. To close the control center, simply tap anywhere on the screen, and it'll disappear. So some of the main icons in your control center are airplane mode, Wi-Fi, cellular, Bluetooth, orientation lock, screen brightness, and focus. These are like the main things I think most people use in their phones or iPads or any device that they have. I utilize most of these quite often, especially the Wi-Fi one, because sometimes I'm not in a great area, but my Wi-Fi is trying to connect to certain things, which just slows my data down. So I'm often, sliding from the top and cutting my Wi-Fi off. So they're very convenient to have these in certain places. Focus is also extremely helpful when you don't want people contacting you so much, or you don't want notifications for it at least. Setting up focus is extremely helpful for me because you can personalize this section where only specific people are calling you at certain times, or you're not taking phone calls at certain times, or you're only allowing certain people to access you at given moments. So I'll start at the top here. With airplane mode, it turns off wireless features while flying on an airplane. Wi-Fi slash cellular enables and disables Wi-Fi home connection. The Bluetooth section allows devices to connect to each other without wireless or cables. Orientation lock is a preference as well. If you want your screen to be portrait or landscape, you can lock it in one of those orientations. Screen brightness and volume. You can drag the slider to adjust the brightness on your screen. That's another thing that's extremely helpful. Depending on the time of day or where you're at in your house, you may want your screen brightness to be brighter. But sometimes if it's too bright, if the sun is out, then you need to bring it down to be able to see what's on your screen. Focus is silence calls, alerts, and notifications when enabled. Excuse me. So I'll play this video here, which shows you how to customize your control center. I think this would be very helpful for individuals who want to be able to shut off their notifications or their brightness and things of that nature. So I'll go ahead and just play this.
Customize Control Center to quickly access the things you use the most. Here's how. In settings.
Oh, the volume is really low, Delilah.
To add
I think it's on your end.
Well, my volume's all the way up. Let me try that again.
this control center to quickly access the things you use the most. In settings, scroll down and tap Control Center.
You can hear it, it's just kind of low.
Tap the Add button. Or tap the Remove button to remove controls. To rearrange controls, touch and hold the gray lines and move them up or down. To access Control Center, swipe down from the top right corner of your screen. Or on an iPhone with a home button, swipe up from the bottom edge of your screen. Then tap a control you'd like to use. More control with a tap.
Was that too low for everybody else? My volume was all the way up here.
It was really, I barely understood it. Delilah, can you try stop sharing your screen and then make sure you hit share sound
Okay.
and then try again. Yes, folks are saying it was low.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do here. My sound is all the way up. Like it's extremely loud in my ears. Because I have my headphones in. So you said to stop sharing and then share my screen again.
Yeah, make sure you hit share sound at the bottom left and then make sure you share that presentation.
Okay, let's try this again.
Customize Control Center to quickly access the things you use the most.
Yeah, it's still that same value. So it's okay. Basically what the video was trying to say, if you want to edit your control center, you go to settings and then you go to control center and then you can adjust it from there.
Yeah,
I know,
sorry about the sound issue. I am working on a different computer than I typically do, but my volume is all the way up. But I'll have somebody here check to see what the issue is moving forward. So I won't have this issue with our next module. Okay. Okay. All right. So next section here is the iPad keyboard. This is tips and tricks on how to use the iPad built-in keyboard. So if you are new to typing on the screen, give yourself a couple of days to see how best to hold and type on your iPad. I will say that there are external keyboards that you all can get. There's also cases that'll connect to your iPad automatically that have a keyboard attached to them. So if your preference is to actually type on a physical keyboard as opposed to your screen, you can have those options. You would just have to buy the accessory for your iPad. But you also can just get yourself familiarized with typing on the glass screen as well. Oh, okay. So we have another video here. Let me just check this volume thing because I don't want you guys to have low videos consistently. I'm just going to check my audio settings in my computer real quick if you guys can bear with me. Okay. Alexander, were you saying there was a section to say share sound as well? Because I don't see that.
yeah, so when you first start sharing you're on your computer, right? So
Yes.
when you hit share content, on the bottom left-hand corner, it will say share sound.
Okay. Definitely not seeing that option here.
Are you on a PC?
I am on a PC.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think I saw that before when I was on a PC, but when you hit share content,
Oh, I see it. I see it here.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Tap on that, and
Let's
let's play this video and see what
Let's
happens.
see what happens here. All right, let me know, guys, if one is loud enough here.
In this lesson, we'll be
Oh, that's
learning
perfect,
how to
Delilah.
use the
You
keyboard
All right,
figured it
great.
out.
Apple touchscreen
Yay.
device. Let's begin by tapping Notes to open the Notes app. The keyboard is a part of the touch screen. The keyboard appears when you need to type. During this lesson, we recommend that you hold your device sideways for a bigger keyboard. The layout of the keys should look familiar to you. The space bar is in its usual place at the bottom of the keyboard. You tap the X symbol in the top right to backspace or delete, just like on a physical keyboard. But because of the screen size, all of the keys cannot be shown at once. Tap the $?123 key to access the numbers keyboard. Here you'll find all of the numbers, as well as a few more of the commonly used symbols. To access the rest of the symbols, tap the £+= key. Tap the ABC key to switch back to the letters keyboard. Tap either arrow before typing a letter to capitalize the letter. The first word of each sentence will automatically be capitalized. Double tap an up arrow to turn on Caps Lock. Tap an arrow again to turn Caps Lock off. We all make mistakes, but luckily touchscreen keyboards are very forgiving. Misspelled words are often auto-corrected as you type. Sometimes the keyboard suggests a word that you don't want to use. When this happens, simply tap the suggested word to use the word you've typed. Now press the Home button to return to the home screen.
Okay. Okay, so here are a couple of typing options. You can also use dictation and external keyboard, which I talked about earlier, or an Apple Pencil / stylus to enter your text messages, to enter your text. Okay, so this video here is going to show you how to enable dictation. I've utilized this quite a bit before on my cell phone when I don't have time, or if I'm driving, for example, and I need to send out a text message. Voice dictation, it's pretty good at picking up exactly what you're saying. I mean, sometimes you might have to read over it to make sure it doesn't put words in your mouth. But it's actually a pretty good feature, and it's extremely helpful when you just can't physically pick up your device and type out.
Did you know that iPadOS has got a really powerful voice dictation tool built right in? To enable voice dictation, you need to go into the Settings app and then go to General and Keyboard. At the bottom of the keyboard page is a little toggle to enable dictation. If you've not used dictation before, you will need to go through a couple of steps to enable things, and you have the choice of sharing your recordings with Apple if you wish to. I've chosen not to do that on my iPad. Then go back into the app you were using, for example Pages, and bring up the keyboard again. From here, all you need to do is press on the microphone button that's now appeared next to the spacebar, and then you can begin talking into your iPad. Siri dictation will then take your words and transcribe them as text on your screen for you. This doesn't have a 100% accuracy rate, but I found it to be pretty reliable when I've used it myself, and you can always go back afterwards and you can correct changes using the keyboard. Please note that this does need to be online to work, particularly on older iPads. However, iPad Pros can do this offline. When you're done, simply press the keyboard button at the bottom of your screen, and that will turn off voice dictation, and then you can use the normal keyboard to make changes as you need to. It's a really powerful tool to let children express themselves through their voice if they find typing on the keyboard difficult.
Okay, so next here we'll talk about putting in emojis using your iPad keyboard. So if you have your keyboard open, you tap the emoji icon, which looks like this. It's a smiley face here. It's here too. To the dictation key. To see more options, swipe left/right with your finger. To enter an emoji, tap on it. To return to the regular keyboard, tap on the ABC key at the bottom left, which is right beside the smiley face here. To enter accented letters while typing, touch and hold the letter, number, or symbol on the keyboard that's selected to the character you want. Once you hold on it, for example, if you hold on the E, then several options will pop up if you are desiring to put an accent on top of your E. And this is also available for certain other letters like I and exclamation point, for example, especially if you're trying to put a word in Spanish or a different language. So you tap and hold on it, and then other options will pop up, and then you can select one of those. So here's some other keyboard tips that we have here. Double tap the space bar. So when you double tap the space bar, you quickly end a sentence with a period and a space. To undo or redo, if you swipe left, it'll undo, or if you swipe right, it'll redo. And you use 3 fingers to do that. Your iPads come with a lot of different finger dictations. So 3 fingers may do something where 1 or 2 fingers may do something else. So to undo and redo, you swipe left or right with 3 fingers. To turn the keyboard into a trackpad, touch and hold the space bar with 1 finger and drag it to move the cursor across the text field. To close your keyboard, tap the keyboard button on the bottom right of the keyboard. So to select, copy, and paste, in apps on iPads, you can use the on-screen keyboard to select and edit text in the text field. There are 2 types of text that you can select: already uploaded text, like news articles and apps that you might find on the web, and text that you write, which might be in notes or pages, or your text messages, each having its own navigation bar. So to select text, double tap on the area you want to edit, then drag the little circles on each end to expand the selection to your choosing. I wish we had an image of this. Okay. Using the navigation bar, select what you would like to do. Okay, so this small here, but this orange dot, I don't know if you guys can see, is what you would be dragging across. There are 2 types of text that you can select. Oh, sorry. So to copy images from your photo app, in Photos, and this is the image for your photo app, you can copy a photo and then paste it into another document, such as an email, text message, or presentation. So you open your photo, you tap the 3 dot icon that's usually at the top right, or this is a share icon, meaning that you're going to send this to somebody else, and then you can tap copy to copy the photo. So some security tips that are extremely helpful for all of us here. Good practices is to set a strong password, usually a capitalized letter, a lowercase letter, a number, and a symbol is always going to give you a strong password. Use Touch ID, meaning that only your finger or your fingerprint can have access to your iPad. Turn on Find My iPad. So if you ever lose it, there is a way to locate the physical area that it's in. And you always want to keep your Apple iPad ID secure. App security. Apple provides layers of protection designed to ensure that apps are free of known malware and hasn't been tampered with. Other protections help ensure that access from apps to user data is carefully mediated. And then system security. System security encompasses the startup process, software updates, and the ongoing operation of iPad OS. Apple products are probably one of the main products that have very good security applications on here. It's always best to try to take your own personal practices with ensuring that you are staying, off the radar with people who try to get your information. But Apple products do quite a good bit of background work to make sure we don't have to worry about this as much. Okay. So I think that's the end of the presentation here. This is an opportunity for us to do a Q&A at this point. I'm going to check the chat, but I believe Alex is going to start this off.
Oh yeah, hey Delay, you did a great job going through it. Usually, right before we do get into Q&A, I just say, hey, thanks so much for attending, you guys. If you do not have a question and you need to leave, please do so. Even if you don't have a question, it's a great idea to listen to others. That's how we learn from each other. And then if you do have a question, please raise your hand in Zoom, and we'll do our best to help you answer that question right now. So again, please feel free to leave if you'd like, but I encourage all of you to stay to listen to questions. First up for Delilah or myself is Miss Yvonne.
Yes. How do you create an iPad keyboard if you need one to type? Like I had a form to fill out and I tried to create the keyboard and it wouldn't come up. Keyboard. I couldn't type my basic information in on my my iPad.
Was this a form, like you got a PDF file? Maybe somebody sent you a form that you needed to fill out?
Yes.
So
and then I touched it and I saw the little arrows where I'm supposed to type, but I couldn't type anything because I didn't have a keyboard.
So I would say I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine that the file itself was probably an issue more than your iPad or something that you were not doing correctly. If that file was a PDF or if it was technically an image, you wouldn't have the option to actually type into it. And
hey, Delilah, no, there is on the iPad, you're able to add text and like signatures to PDFs. Miss Yvonne, so when you're inside of a PDF, you'll see some options at the top where that way you can add text. Because yes, the keyboard on your iPad, it doesn't come up unless there's a text field ready for it to, for you to tap on, and that's when the keyboard will pop up. Because the iPad only has so much space on the screen, right, Miss Yvonne? So it can't be on the screen the whole time because it just covers up everything, right? So the keyboard will only appear if you tap on the text field where you're able to add in text. So if you're on the PDF, go ahead, Delilah, while I can see if I can pull up something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think the answer to your question is that black and white. It could be what Alexander is saying, but you also may not just have the option to type on that PDF. I would suggest calling the help desk and letting them view what the file is that you need to fill out. And then we can just figure out if it's between your iPad is not popping up your keyboard or this file is just not possible to type in. I don't want to give you a specific answer because it could be something that's just out of your control, which I am thinking that it might be.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Got a question here from Yvonne Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
My picture back on.
Thank you for lowering your hand, Miss Yvonne. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've got two devices.
Yvonne, you're on two devices. You got to make sure you're off one so that way you don't echo.
All right. Okay. Well, I hadn't. Oh boy.
You got to leave the meeting from one of your devices, Miss Yvonne.
All right. Thank you.
Nope,
There
I
you
think
go.
she left the wrong one.
I just asked the other Yvonne to unmute for you, Delilah. There you go, Miss Yvonne. Can you hear us?
I had an issue similar to that, Alex. I was trying to just type a text message, and instead of the keyboard coming up, I kept getting Gilfy, which is one of the apps with animation. Gilfy.
Yes, Giphy. Mm-hmm.
Giphy. Yes. It kept bringing Giphy up instead of the keyboard, and I was trying to
add, I was trying to type, and instead of the keyboard coming up, it kept bringing Giphy up.
Yes, what I would do for that, Yvonne, is when you're in your iMessages, that is one of, there are several different options when you're using iMessage on your iPad. You would just have to find the keyboard icon on the screen to be able to go back to the keyboard so you can type it in. So when you tap on that text field and start to type, make sure that you're on the actual keyboard to be able to start typing, okay? So
Yes.
I'm not sure what exactly it looks like, but again, you'll see the little something that looks like that. It may not be on the bottom right, what you see on the screen from Delilah, but you'll see a keyboard looking icon
Yes.
that takes you back to the keyboard, okay?
Yes, I was typing on, I was typing in the type field where you type, tapping on it, but instead of bringing up the keyboard, it kept bringing up Giphy.
Yes, Miss Yvonne. So you got to make sure that you tap on the keyboard icon to go back to typing on the keyboard, okay? Because there are different options like that, but you have to just maneuver to go back to that keyboard, okay?
What is the keyboard icon? Which you mean
So-
the 1, 2, 3 or?
Hold on.
Oh,
Nope.
that, yes,
Yeah,
on the
this
right.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
this right
course.
here. So it might
Of
not be
course.
in this location, but
Yes,
wherever.
it is.
Okay.
I understand now. I understand
Okay,
what you're
perfect.
saying, Alex. Thank you.
No problem, Yvonne. Thank you for showing, Delilah. I seen you went to that slide, so.
Yeah, no problem.
So thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I see any more hands up.
Yeah. Any more questions? Someone in the chat. I'm having issues staying connected. Is there any way to get a stronger Wi-Fi connection? Delilah, well, I mean, for Miss Brown, it depends on if you're on the Wi-Fi or if you're on the cellular data. So there are differences between the two. So the Wi-Fi is your home connection. So like Xfinity or RCN or something. The cellular data is the cell plan that's provided to you by DAPA. So what I really would recommend that you do, Ms. Shirley, is call our help desk, so that way they can assist you with that issue, okay? But sometimes the cellular, as you said, Delilah, sometimes the Wi-Fi or the cellular could be really slow, right? So it's important to, if you have both, then to take advantage of either to be able to connect better. But just some places are not as connected as others based on like towers and things of that nature.
And Miss Brown, is this a consistent issue that you're having? Do we have her on chat?
Yeah, she'll respond, and then I'll respond to her if she puts something in the chat. Okay.
Okay. I was just gonna say that if it's a consistent issue that you're having and you're not like changing locations, meaning like if this is happening in your house, then it probably is what Alexander described with the ladder as far as like it being the towers and where you're at. If it's happening like when you're leaving your house, then it's probably what I was getting at earlier, which is like your Wi-Fi is trying to connect to different connections that are lower in your area. Oh, let's get her off of mute. I actually would like to hear from her. Are you able to unmute her? Because I can't find her.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just did that for Miss Brown. Go ahead and unmute, please. You got to hit unmute in the middle, Miss Brown.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to reach out to the help desk, if you are able to unmute, then I'll talk to you now, Miss Brown. But I'll go to the next person right now until you can until you're able to unmute. So I'll go to Miss Story, Miss Renee Story. Let me unmute you real quick. Hi, Miss Story.
Hello. My question is, it's a little bit off subject right now, but when you brought up PDF files, that's made me think about something when it got regarding those forms.
Mhm.
When you get those and you can't type in those forms, that means that you have to switch it over to a different form, right, to type in it. Is there a way that you can type in those forms without buying Adobe?
So
You know?
yeah, that's actually a great question. I actually just had this issue with a doctor. They sent me some forms that I needed to fill out, and they asked me to email them the forms back. They were all PDFs that did not have the option to type inside of them. So I responded back like, hey, like, how am I supposed to fill this out? And they wanted me to print those forms out, fill them out physically, and then scan them back in the computer. And my response was like, it's 2023. I should have a form I can fill out.
Yeah.
So, and I shouldn't have to download another application to figure out how to do this. So my first advice would be to whoever is sending you these forms, at least push back on them a little bit about sending you a fillable form out, because it is a lot more work, just to be able to either, whether you have to download it or print it out, or if you have to find a new application, like you said. It's complicated because PDFs are designed to not be editable. That's the whole point of them.
Okay.
Unless somebody sends you a fillable form to fill out because they want that information from you. But the reason they do that is also so that the information stays locked in. So I would advise the person to first try to send you a fillable form, because that's what you should be receiving.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you also notice, someone else sent me a direct message about the PDF thing. Yes, if you have an open PDF in your files on your iPad, you will see, again, you open the file, you'll see this like drawing icon, this pencil icon right here. If you tap on that, you're able to add things like, drawings on your PDF. So this is a PDF of the book we read. I can add drawings. If I had hit the plus button here at the bottom, I can add text, I can add a sticker, I can even add my signature if I want. So that's how you can then edit PDFs. But with the new iPad update, depending on how the form is sent to you, you should just be able to tap in that area where, like, for example, your name goes. It's not all PDFs, but that's a new feature in the new operating system that you can take advantage of. But this is fine as well. If I wanted to add, let's say it said name, I just add text, I move it around, and then I tap or type in whatever I want. So if I needed my name, I would just type in my name. And then I can move it around to whatever spot. So that's how you can fill out PDFs without having to export it anywhere or things of that nature. When you open the file, you look for that edit icon or that pencil icon, and that's how you can add or delete, different things. And I think it's quite expansive on what you can do. So anytime you
definitely a great option here, Alexander. Thanks for showing that. I just want to add here that if I received a PDF and I had to do what he's showing here, which is definitely an option for you, I would still push back on whoever's sending me this information, because this is more work than I would want to do when filling out a form, especially if it's like my name, address, and social security and things of that nature. This is more work than I would want to do. So I would always suggest asking whoever sent you a PDF to send you one that's filled out first before you have to go down the rabbit hole of pasting in your text that you type out. But it is an option, but it's just not how things should be done when it comes to PDFs. So
yeah, thank you very much for that. And I have tried that before, and the way that Alex showed us, and that's a good thing, but it can be very difficult.
It
and
is.
Moving that box around, trying to get all that information in. I mean, it can be a mess. The only reason I say that because I have done it.
That's why it's really important to be patient and just when you use it more, you're able to maneuver your iPad a little faster each time. So I would, again, try that out. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Story.
All right.
Yeah. I did see you had a question in the chat. Delilah, I see you have Mr. John and Miss Diane, but I see she sent the chat a few minutes ago. She asked about how to copy and paste on your iPad. So
I'm not seeing that.
It was in the chat. It may have been a direct message to me, but
okay. If you want to just give me a second, Alex, let me go ahead and can you unshare it real quick?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you send me the question that you said is, and see, please go over, copy and paste. Okay. 14. Give me 1 second, Miss Ann. Let me just get to Mr. Zimmerman first, because I had an order here. So I'll share my screen in a second so we can go over the copy and paste real quick. Mr. Zimmerman, I'm going to ask you to unmute now so you can ask your question. You got to unmute, Mr. Zimmerman.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well, what I'm saying is, can we like look at these and go over them after we get off?
Yeah. Yeah, we upload our videos because these are all recorded videos. So we upload them on YouTube. Alexander, are you able to put the YouTube link in the chat here? And then
Yeah.
you guys can view they're always available on YouTube. And we upload them kind of each week. I think we're going to get out of that and try to find like the best videos that we have to upload, but you can definitely access this information on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
There,
because
there
I
are
really
different,
have to study.
yes, Mrs. Zimmer. There are different ways of accessing it, like the
Hold on,
daily.
Alexander. Thanks. What was that, Mr. Zimmerman?
I said I really have to, because I have to really study.
Yeah, and you have time to study, and you can continue taking these classes, and call the help desk if you're having issues with things. But I think the YouTube channel and our website is definitely going to be able to give you an opportunity to study at your own leisure and get the information as you need it. And then you can pause and play it or rewind it back, if you want to hear that information again.
Because I get a little forgetful, and I just found out that I had a vascular, what you call it, everything, vascular. Uh, See, I forgot the word already.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, yeah,
When you forget things.
no worries. We have a few different ways to get this information over to you guys. I'll make sure that you get the link to the YouTube channel so that you can just start checking the stuff out at your own leisure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Let me just try to get Miss Shirley before I do Miss Diane. I can't find her in our list here. I'm trying to get her unmuted.
Yeah, if you type in Shirley, you should see her name pop up. But I just asked her to unmute again for you.
Okay. Miss Shirley, are you there, Miss Brown?
You got to hit unmute in the middle, Miss Shirley. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please call me Shirley and not Miss Shirley. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. So, I can't remember.
I think it was something about.
Oh yeah, my connection. I did put it on cellular. So I'm assuming that these iPads have their own cellular account. And okay. So I did do that. So I'll go back and check to see what I did wrong. But I wanted to clarify that. So it has its own cellular account, and so I should be able to connect anywhere at any point in time, regardless to where I am.
Yes, and if your Wi-Fi option is on, I have that issue with my cell phone sometimes where, of course, my cell phone has the cellular data, but if I'm like walking outside, it'll try or attempt to connect me to open Wi-Fi networks, which as a result sometimes just slows my data down in general. So I try to cut my Wi-Fi off unless I'm at home or in a place where I know that I have a password and connection to that Wi-Fi. So that might be why it's slowing down if you do have your Wi-Fi on, because it'll try to search for networks. That could be a possible reason.
Okay, I'll go back and double check, but I thought I did put it on because I do have a cell phone, so I don't know if it's trying to pick up or what, but I'll go back and double check that.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. And Miss Leach, I'm gonna ask you to unmute now. You're still muted.
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
There you go.
You mentioned something about Adobe earlier. Is that flash that used to be Adobe Flash that came on? Is that new on has that come back on the computer so you can download documents and fill out documents?
So yeah, Adobe is a software that has a variety of different applications. The one we were talking about earlier is Acrobat, which is like usually where PDFs go, or how you can like, look or view or edit a PDF. I'm not sure which application you're talking about, but it should already be, there's an application for you to view PDFs on your iPad already.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to download the application on my cell phone for the District of Columbia government agency,
Hmm.
and I'm confused. What's the name of the application? I mean, what's the name of the app that I want to download?
So if you're trying to download an app, a DC government app, it should be able to just, once you select the download, it should download it directly to your iPad. It sounds like something's preventing it from downloading though. Is it not on your iPad yet?
No, no, I no. What I'm saying is I don't know what district government app that I want to download.
Okay.
What's the right district government I want to download?
Okay. If that's the case, I would call the help desk just to, because I can't see your screen right now, but if there's a specific app you're trying to download, they can let you know if you in fact did download the correct application.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Um, all right. Okay, so let's get back to the copy and paste. Was that Miss and
Mm-hmm.
Alexander, you want to go ahead and you wanted to share your screen and show her something?
Yeah, just show her how to do it because I know the slide, it says it, but it's just better to see it actually done. So
Yep.
during the session, there are two different types of text. You can either have already uploaded text like from the news. If I go to my news app right here and open this article, for example, this is text that's already been uploaded, right? Or in an application. But there's also text like in your notes app where that you're actually like typing in like characters, right? So in order to copy it, it's a little different between the two types, but it's essentially the same feature. If I'm on here and I wanted to, let's see, copy this description of this restaurant, what you would do is you would hold the screen around where you want to copy and paste, and you'll see it highlight a word. And on each side of those word, you have those little circles. So if I wanted the whole paragraph, I would drag the right circle to the spot where I wanted. And again, it may take some getting used to with moving it and making sure you select what you want. But then I use the left circle to then select that even more. So great. I have the text that I want selected. Let's say I want this title 2. So let me select that. And you'll see these different options. So just like over a book club today, you can actually have it speak the sentence to you or translate it if you want or share that specific text. But you're going to hit copy because we want to copy it, right? And if you copy it, you can paste it basically anywhere you're able to put it in. So whether that be a text field or a document, like again, pages or notes. So if I go to my notes tab, go to my next line, in order to paste, you see where the blinking cursor is. That is where you need to tap in order to get the navigation bar to pop up. And then you hit paste. And look, I just pasted that text from that article really easily. So so now it's part of my notes. But even though we just copied it, it's like we're still, again, we're still typing in the document. If you want to then copy this text, you do the same thing. You can hold or tap and then hit select, or you can again double tap and some of it is selected. So when you're actually in a document and typing something or text, for example, there are different ways to select different text. So usually I just double tap. Again, if I wanted to copy this, I move the circles to the right spot. So let's say I wanted everything. Again, you can move your screen while you do that. So everything here, Again, sometimes you may have to redo it, which is okay. So I go back, everything is selected. And then I tap and then hit copy. And if I go to another app, let's say I open a new note, I can tap, hit paste, and that's how you copy and paste text, whether from text that you're already writing or from text that's already been uploaded, like any text in any apps or like news, for example. So that's how you copy and paste really easy. I hope that helped out Ms. Ann and others as well. Any other questions for us?
Same for learning more on your YouTube videos for this training module. Okay, sounds good. I don't see any more questions here. There is a link. Is this our YouTube link, Alexander?
It takes us to the library of recorded presentations.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, you guys can go to this link here, and then this page has a long list of our links to our videos to get you to YouTube. So there's a variety of different links that are on this page here that you guys can access and start learning at your own pace offline.
I also wanted to say you can find this link in the bottom of the daily emails. So you'll see that at the bottom of every daily email. If you're on your iPad, everyone's iPad came preloaded with two icons. One of them is the WildTech icon. It should be blue and green. And then there's also one called WTA DACL with our logo. And that's how you can also access either our library or go directly to our YouTube channel. So look at your home screens, find that WildTech icon or the WTA DACL icon, and that's another way you can access our sessions.
Awesome. So does anybody else have any questions for us before we wrap up today's module meeting? Awesome. So it was great presenting for you guys today. I'm looking forward to next week. When you guys see me again, actually you guys will see me tomorrow. We do have an interest group presenter, but I will be running that class. But then next Wednesday, I will be presenting module 2, I believe. Yep, 2. Awesome. So I'll see you up, Miss Allamore. Let me see if you have a quick question.
Yeah, I was trying to unmute earlier, but
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was checking with Alex about the right and left click with the copy and Did you hear me, Alex? Can you hear me, Delilah?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry.
I was checking with Alex about the right and left click, you know, with the copy and paste.
Yes.
But when I said you're going too fast, I didn't know which way I'm gonna click, but I couldn't unmute myself because it says.
Yes, ask to unmute. So I think he just showed that again. Let me just run through the next 2 questions, and I will pull it up for you in just a second. He just showed the way to stretch out to be able to select all that you want to copy. So let me see if he can show you that again. But let me just see what Harold and Miss Adele have for us real quick.
Okay.
Harold, yep. Hi.
Hello, Delilah. Could you tell us who's going? Well, thank you. Hope you are as well. Wondering who the interest group will be tomorrow. Do we know? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. If Alex,
it makes it easy for me to determine if I want to come or not.
I understand. You give me a second, I can pull up who we have scheduled. I think we have the library scheduled for tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Alexander.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think Alexander's still here. Let me just double check that for you.
Oh, I was muted, Delilah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, it's PCPL tomorrow. Mr. Harold, please, like during our one-on-one session, make sure you check out our daily emails. That's how you can see what's going on, especially on Mondays. On Monday, you get to see the whole week, so that way you can plan it in advance. So especially on Mondays, Mr. Harold, when you wake up, make sure you check out that email so you can plan your weekend in advance, okay?
You have to forgive me, Alex. I did check, but things are changing so rapidly. I want to make sure it was the same.
Oh, yes, Mr. Harold. Again, tomorrow, if there are any day that you see the email for that day, that it's pretty certain that's what's going to be happening. But before, just make sure you check out each day's email and you might see some new information, all right?
Thank you much. Will do.
Thank you. And Miss Adele Daughtry, how are you? You're muted, Miss Adele.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I think Alex sent me a phone call message about about pulling up previous lessons for the iPad, and I called the help desk, but I haven't gotten an answer yet, a call back yet. How do I pull up previous lessons, like today's lessons? How do I go back and review those?
So there's a link that Alex Bell put inside of the chat here. This link is inside of the daily emails that you guys get every morning. And it's wildtech.org/DACL. If anybody wants to write that down, it might be better than trying to find the chat. So it's wildtech.org/DACL. And then when you go to that link, I'm just going to go to it now and share my screen so you guys can see it, because we got this question a few times today. So just give me 1 second.
It's at every bottom of the email, it has that link again. And also, if you see the WildTech icons on your screen, either again that blue and green WildTech icon or the WTA DACL icon in your iPad, that's how you can also view what Delilah is about to show.
So this link, so you guys can see up here, well, I hope you can. So it's wildtech.org/DACL. And it'll take you to this page here. So this page goes, we have presentations on here from last year, 2022, as well as 2021 presentations. And then all the way at the bottom is our presentations from this year. They don't get uploaded like immediately. So today's presentation, for example, is not going to be on here probably for at least a week or two. But you can view the information that we presented today. It's inside of here already, because we present this module, every other week. So if you go to this link here, there's a little snippet on the type of class that was offered. Like this one on March 27th was Find My App. So if that's the issue that you're having, you can find that video here, and you just click here where it says click here, and it'll take you to YouTube where you can view the presentation.
I see. Thank you.
No problem. And again, that is
making the call.
No problem. That link is going to be sent to you. That link is sent to you guys every day. So if you feel like you're missing it, go back to your email and check it out, and you'll be able to find that link, wildtech.org/DACL.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
You want me to help out Miss Louise now, Delilah?
Oh yes. If you want to share your screen again to show her the I'm sorry, Miss Louise. To show her the copy and paste. Are you going to share your screen, Alex?
Yeah. And then I think the last question for the day. But yes, again, just like I said, just really quick, you should see a WildTech icon, WTA DACL icon on your screens. The first one takes you directly to our YouTube channel. Not on the YouTube app, but you'll be able to open it from here. It's taken a second to get on here. It takes you directly to our YouTube channel, where then you can access our videos. If you hit open, you'll open it in the YouTube app that again should be preload on your device. Or again, if you hit the WTA DACL icon, again, it takes you to this library of recorded sessions. If you want to copy or paste, again, there are two different kinds of text that you can copy or paste. Text that's already been uploaded, like in news or most apps that you use, or things that you're directly typing in, like notes or pages, or even in like message or something. When you're typing, you can copy and paste. If I go like I did before, let me go to this news article.
Miss Adele, you're not muted. I
Who's
got it. There we go.
Yeah. Oops. And then, yep. So you're here at the screen again. I looked at this article. And then what you do is you find what you want to copy, and then you hold it. So again, Miss Louise, make sure you unmute so you can respond if you want. So if you get it. So again, I hold the screen. When you hold the screen, you'll see it kind of magnifies it right there at the top. So you see I'm moving my finger. But yeah, it's once you just simply hold, you'll see that text has been selected, right? So then you move the circle. So the bottom circle right here, I'm going to move it because I want that, for example. And then if I want the title and the text, I move the left-hand circle.
When he says move, he means like drag it. You have to grab it and hold
So,
it.
so do you have to click right or left?
There's
So
it's not a mouse. It's so you can't think of it like a mouse, Louise. It's don't overcomplicate it.
Real quick, Miss Louise, are you on the iPad trying to copy something, or are you on your computer?
No, I just have a problem with it.
Well, I'm asking because if you're on your iPad versus your computer, there's a different way to do this. So if you're on your iPad,
I'm on the iPad now watching, but I'm not using it.
Okay. So yeah, when you're copying from the iPad, what you do is you use your finger to grab the word or grab one of the words that you want to copy. And then with the right line and dot, you have to grab that and drag it right. And then the left one, you have to grab it and drag it left.
The two little round things.
Correct. Correct. And those are
okay.
Yeah, and then again, when you have text selected, this bar will always appear at the top. Again, you can, just like again during our book, Miss Louise, you can have it speak it, or you can translate it. If I want to select it everything, I would hit select all, but I normally don't use that option too much unless it's just that text I want, but you're gonna be hitting copy. When you hit copy, now the text is copied on your iPad, so you need to find where you need to paste it, for example, for whatever reason.
Real quick, does that make sense to you, Miss Louise, as far as like how to drag it and copy?
Okay. And then, so again, let's say I'm going into notes, for example. So notes, it doesn't matter what app you want to paste it in. If I wanted to go to email, right? And then I open a new email, I type in who I want to send it to.
Right.
And the subject, like normal. And then if I wanted to paste it first, you got to be in the body, right? You got to be in the body of the email. And again, you see that blinking cursor, right? When you tap on that blink, you got to be in the body to be able to then, add or edit things, right? So when you tap on that blinking cursor, you see these options. So again, if I paste the very first one, like I just pasted that.
Yeah.
I just pasted that info.
I got it.
Yeah, so it's the most important thing, I guess, because it's the hardest to see is that cursor. So that tells you where you're about to type or add something, right? So here, if I tap, I can move the cursor here. If I tap next to crossing, I move the cursor there. If I tap next to my name, that means I'm tapping there. And then I can tap in between characters. Again, the more that you use your iPad, the more you can get more accustomed to moving it around. But yeah, I'm going to return, go to this new line, tap where the cursor is, hit paste, and there I pasted whatever I want. So it's mostly that single tap, and you got to just take a second to look to see the bar pop up, and that's you'll be good as gold. Okay.
Okay. I see it now. I thought you were clicking right and left to move it from one place.
Oh no. No. It's so much easier on the iPad sometimes. So you hold and select, and it just takes some practice and getting used to it. So
the two little round thing is what I use to drag.
Yes,
correct.
Yeah. Two bubbles.
Yes.
two bubbles. Thank you so much, both of you.
No problem.
Oh, no problem, Louise.
So I think that was our last question of the day. Yeah, I think we're all set.
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Delilah. I know this was your first time, but you did a great job with this module. Let's all thank Delilah for hosting today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Delilah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delilah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delilah.
Nice.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Have
Thank
a nice
you.
evening.
Thank you,
Thank
Delilah.
you. Bye.
Thank you, Delilah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.